if I could ask you to walk me through, say, Levon versus Anand 2013 Vikanji, could you walk me through it right now?
Oh, easily.
Yeah?
Easily, because I've actually done the game a few times for
For interviews?
for audiences. No, for audiences and so on. So, I mean, chess audiences, obviously, but therefore I know all the moves
Can
by
you do
heart.
it?
So it was like this. Yeah, you can. Exactly.
Right. So you're black here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Knight f6,
Knight f6.
knight c3, e6, e3, knight bd7. That's
Standard.
the so-called Mehran variation.
Right. And also, while you do this, sir, just walk me through what's going on. Like, for instance, this is to occupy the center as much. Like, how are you thinking? Where are you going in these moments? If you could also.
Yeah, sure. So if we step back a little bit, this is the Slav variation.
Right.
And white would like to get his bishop out before he gets the pawn out. So one of the things I do here is I do this with the intention of capturing this.
Okay.
So that if the bishop moves out, I would do that. And this is another game of mine with Levon also. He would move here, I would take the pawn, something like that.
Sure.
So white decides that now he doesn't want to allow that, and he does this instead. Now the bishop is protecting this pawn. So now I develop normally. I bring the knight out because now I'm a bit cramped. So what I want to do is I want to do this and liberate myself with this so that my pieces flow out again.
So you're adding support onto the e5
Exactly.
square. Okay.
White does this
Queen c2.
because white's logic is if I do this and you capture, I'll waste a move.
Yes.
So I would rather not waste a move.
Got it.
So I say, hey, I know what you're up to. I'm not going to capture it.
Okay.
I'm not going to capture it till you move this guy, and then I'll capture it.
Right.
So white then says, okay, the hell with it. I will do this. But in the meantime, we have also solved some other issues. You could have played this. Wasn't considered ideal. Instead, you have gone bishop d6 and things like that.
I have a question. In a position like this, which is fairly standard, you're in the Slav defense, these positions you've studied. How many moves are you thinking? I mean, I know the answer somewhat, but for people who were not native to chess, how many moves are you thinking at a present moment? So you can think bishop d6, you can think b6. What else is in your head? Queen c7 at all, maybe? Like, how many moves goes through the head?
Typically, we have decided on one move at this level. So it's not until move 10 or 11 that the real choices. But even there, I would have taken the decision at home which move I'm going to make. So I know the equivalent choices, but I would nonetheless have made the decision which one I'm going to go for and rehearsed it because there's a lot of material to rehearse.
Right.
So I'll show you. You go bishop d6,
Bishop d6.
bishop d3.
Yes.
I castle, white castles. Now I take this.
And bishop c4.
He takes this.
Right.
I go b5, bishop b3, bishop b7. And by the way, we might have arrived at this position in different move orders, but basic idea.
Right.
So for me, the position starts here.
Okay.
And now I made this great new move I had prepared for my match with Gelfand about 7-8 months earlier.
Okay.
I went rook c8.
Rook c8. It's a very interesting move.
Yes. And quite revolutionary at that point. The idea was that if you do this, which is a clamp on this thing, I'm going to do this anyway and break through. And we had worked this out to a draw.
Okay. Interesting.
So that was one big thing. Aronian knew this. So he went for this move.
Putting pressure on my h7 pawn.
And his trick is, if you take this pawn,
Okay.
I'll take this.
Right.
You'll give a check.
Right.
I'll come here. You'll take this. I'll go here.
Okay.
If you capture this pawn, I will move here because I'm pinning your queen.
Got it.
So you will go back. I will do that. You will move your queen somewhere else. And then I'll do this. And now the clamp will work because you don't have the pin. It's not so powerful.
Okay. So because the queen is not here and it's out there right now,
More important, I'm lacking the bishop.
you're lacking the
So
bishop.
now white is saying, you have an extra
I
pawn.
see the bishop was here. Okay. Yes.
You have an extra pawn. Keep the change.
Okay.
But I'm going to use this clamp to make this bishop feel miserable. If these pawns can never move, this bishop is like a big pawn sitting behind them.
It's a useless piece at that point. Yes. So therefore the improvement.
Yeah. So also just, if you leave the queen here for 1 second,
Yes.
look at this pawn structure. It's like a great wall
Okay.
stopping that bishop. That bishop is biting granite.
Yes. Right.
Okay. So now.
And there's no black bishop to actually take advantage of these loose squares later.
Exactly. And in fact, in the game, you're going to see that also. So we are kind of, which is why I really want to emphasize this pawn structure and how powerful it was. And so what I did instead was I just played this. And this was part of my preparation.
Okay.
It looks strange. He's threatening to win a pawn here.
Right.
And I'm blundering another pawn here.
Yes.
But all this is important because had I done this, he would now come here, attack the bishop. I would step back.
Bishop E7.
And after this, I can resign with a clear conscience.
You can resign.
Yes. It looks premature to say that.
Yes.
But I think if your knight comes here, I have the most horrible position. And your advantage is so much that I think it's fairly hopeless. Maybe resign is too strong, but I would expect to lose this game in 7 out of 10 tries. This position in 7 out of 10 tries. Because this clamp is so powerful.
Okay, so because this bishop is useless, and even this bishop is pretty blocked if you have a pawn here after knight exchanges. And so that's why you're saying your pieces are very jammed together. The white has center, white has momentum.
Yes.
That's why you're saying.
Yes. So when people watch games, they may think the material is even, nothing much is happening. Would it? I mean, I think they would be surprised to know that many black players would resign here.
Yeah, right. I am surprised. Like I would not be able to see that much. Yes, I get it though. Okay.
Or resign mentally and, they go through the motions a little bit, but you get the idea.
Right.
So I went for this move.
Right.
Which not only blunders this pawn, it blunders this pawn as a bonus.
Right.
And in 2 different ways. You can even take like this.
Yes.
But what I'm doing is I'm activating my bishops. And that rook is now participating in the game. And I'm saying, hey, you can keep this pawn. So now, if white had captured here, I would step aside. And though it's a vital pawn, there's no mate.
There's no mate.
And I'm threatening to trap that bishop.
Right.
Admittedly losing many more pawns, but I'm going to win a piece. And if you come back, there's a line where I play b4 and black is doing well because I'm forcing you to make some decisions here. So, but Levon, and I think he hadn't fully sunk in that not only might this just be a casual idea, but this might be one of the core ideas of my World Championship preparation. Somehow, I think it hadn't registered for him or something because he kind of innocently went here.
Fair, okay.
Now I went here, but there's a lot of stuff to know here. For instance, obvious one, if I do this, I think you'll enjoy the solution, which is just to capture here.
And then queen check.
Queen check because it's a pin.
Right.
And it's mate.
Yeah, right. Because of these powerful bishops overlooking those. Yeah.
And so I remember the contrast earlier where I don't have this bishop, the dark square one and the light square one is dead. And now you see the contrast.
Got it.
If this, I happen to know from my work that this is a mistake. It's a big mistake.
Okay.
Because after this bishop is out of the game, blocked by this pawn.
Got it.
Now again, remember that this pawn blocks the bishop here, but we're going to get in a position where it does the opposite. So again, after h3, I would go check.
Fair.
And then come here.
And now there is no f4.
And now the bishop is on the other side of it. You cannot play f4 because I have crossed the Rubicon, so to speak.
Yes, right.
I'm on the other side of the river, and this is a great position for black.
Huh.
Again, there are a lot of details, but essentially we knew this from my preparation. So my opponent played f4.
Already blocking the bishop.
Correct.
Yes.
Now I captured.
Okay.
And the problem was when people say, well, why did you, if this was all your preparation for your match, why did you think for 25 minutes at this point? And the reason was I was drawing a blank. I couldn't remember this particular position. And because I couldn't remember this position, I couldn't remember the details. So now it's detective work. I don't remember, if I'd looked at it the morning at, let's say from 9 to 9:30, if I'd revised this position, I would play it with my eyes closed.
Right.
Fine.
Right.
But I hadn't. I had looked at other things. I didn't expect him to walk into this. And so we were in a situation where I was thinking, now I've got to take the few fragments in my brain of this position and reconstruct this.
Yeah.
So I started to reconstruct. We know that this is a mistake because it's like playing h3 and f4 in reversed order. That's all.
Yes.
The bishop is on the wrong side of that pawn. It's not on the square. And then I'm desperately trying to remember, was my preparation this move? Was it this move? Was it queen h4? What was it? What was the move I was supposed to play?
And at this point, move order is very important because if you mess up a little bit, it could go from being minus something to plus something. Like you could absolutely start losing.
There are 3 good moves for black. 2 of them are equalish. The third one is what I played and everything else loses. So it's not the tightest path, but it's a tight path.
Sure.
Later on, I analyzed this, and this one seems to be excellent. Black is doing fine.
Okay.
But at the board, I thought, oh my God, what the hell? How could I not check this in the last 7 months? What am I doing? What an idiot I am, and all that. All your self-talk.
Yeah.
Essentially, what Kasparov was doing with a computer.
Right.
And bad idea with a computer.
Right.
So I told myself, well, it can't be Queen B6. I can't waste my time chasing every lead. I've got to find the right idea. And then I thought for 20 minutes trying to find something. And my opponent must have been very confident. I really got him, kind of thing. But in fact, the most irritating thing is knowing that I have a great position, but not knowing why. Then for some reasons, a position flashed into my head where this guy ends up on here. This knight ends up here.
And so you've just imagined this blank.
I don't even know the sequence. Exactly. I don't know the sequence of moves that gets me there. I remember a knight being there and thing. So that led me to the correct answer, which is I thought the only way that knight gets there
is knight C5.
And then I found this.
Oh, bishop C5.
Yes. So the knight has to survive to get here.
Okay.
And that was my logic. If I do this, he captures, I capture. Now it turns out you have no good squares.
For white.
I'll give you an example. If you do this,
sure,
I'll give a check.
Queen D4.
You go here, and after this, you can resign.
Right. It's the classic suffocation.
It's the suffocation mate.
Yes.
And if you capture, you cannot protect this pawn in any reasonable way.
Because the queen is pinned.
Yeah, and because there's mate on the back rank.
Sure, right. There's also back rank.
So that takes care of bishop e2. It's a good question what happens after this, but it's the same logic.
Okay.
And so we will look at knight takes f8.
Okay. And how does that change much?
So my move would have been queen d4 check.
Right.
And this was the position I imagined in my thoughts that suddenly popped up in my head. That I have a knight on d3 and another one on g4 and I'm landing on f2.
Right.
And this has allowed me to find bishop c5, which then reconstructed. So it's detective work. It's a little bit of intuition. It's a little bit of guessing. It's elimination also. If the knight has to get here, there's only one way.
Sure.
So I use a lot of, but it's not like I know the correct answer, I calculate the moves and I find it. That's not how humans play.
Right.
For us, the computer could not do this, but it would find bishop c5 every time because it's looking at every legal move.
Yes.
And that's really the difference in thinking process.
Right.
So this I did. I played bishop c5.
Okay. d4.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes.
And now he made a big mistake because he was quite flabbergasted because for 25 minutes he might have easily gotten the idea, hey, I managed to actually catch the guy in some line and he forgot or whatever. And it's also possible that because Levon was killing me in our rivalry until that point, he may have thought, no biggie. I mean, not really expecting a problem.
Right.
So he went here because he had seen a trap, which is that if I capture here,
King h1.
King h1, of course I can do this, but if I take this, which looks like a winning move,
okay,
because if I capture, it's mate.
Queen h4 mate, yes.
But that's where he has an intermezzo. He comes here, threatens mate.
Right.
But at the same time, the queen's path here is blocked. When I stop the mate, he captures the piece and he's up. So he thought, this should work.
He saw the intermezzo.
Yeah, and he might have gone for it. He went bishop e2, and then here's my best move of the game. Though I think this is the harder move to find. Because once you find this, which is to do this. The idea is the knight has to go somewhere where it cannot be captured. At the same time, where it defends the other knight. And now, if he does this, I do the same thing in reverse. Knight f2 and what we saw earlier.
Sure, right.
And if he captures this, I do it even faster. I take on d4 and I skip the knight turns on f2 and I simply go here with check.
And then yes.
And it's the same smothered mate because the bishop is propelling the queen. So now he realized that something had gone horribly wrong, but this position is much worse. Already close to lost. He took.
Knight takes?
No. Because now if I take with the knight, he takes there. I don't have two knights.
Right. Got it.
So I have to capture this. He goes here and I take this.
Okay. Why not capture with the queen here?
Because in this position, this would only be enough for an advantage. It would, we would get king h1, knight takes g4.
Right.
And now he could capture on f8 and then play h3 or queen e2 and make a draw. Or at least not be worse.
Well, if knight into rook, then why not smother?
Oh, now the queen is protecting this thing. Whereas earlier the bishop was sitting there blocking the queen.
Wow.
So we got to this position.
Yes.
Now he captured on f8. So there's one more trap in the position, which is that if I go here thinking I'm going to give mate, he does this, which is very unusual, with the support of that knight and exchanges the queens. And he's out of danger. So now he thought, well, if Anand has to recapture the knight, I still have one move with which to do something. But I didn't stop. I went f5. Anyway, so you remember that position with the 3 pawns like this, the pawn structure like this, and my bishop biting granite?
Right, yes.
Well, look at this position.
Now his queen's biting.
Now there is no... Look at my bishops just cutting through the position. They've cut the board into 2 halves. Everything on this side is irrelevant. Everything on this side of the bishops is where all the action is happening.
Yes.
And this is murder. If he goes here, I will just go here.
Right.
And by now, with the pins are so strong, if I do this, you can just capture.
Yes.
It's made.
Right.
Because it's pinned.
Yes.
So
Wow.
the rest of the game, I think he kind of went here.
Okay.
I went here.
Okay.
Now if he does this, I do this because there is no more clever intermezzos. So he went h3. I captured. I mean, he was kind of still stunned. He went here. If he goes here, I have an interesting way to win, which is now 1, 2, 3, all attacking this. You cannot defend this anymore.
Right.
Or I can start with the bishop and
then
give a double check and then land a mate.
Yes, right.
In fact, I think that's better. So he went here, which is hoping to shut the thing down with the rook. But now I went here. I'm basically saying you can help yourself to this pawn because I'll step aside and you can resign. Or go here and you can resign. He could have done this.
Okay.
But then I'm going to do this move.
Got it.
If he captures here, I use the pin.
Yes.
Check. And I use the second pin and I give mate.
Checkmate, right. Wow.
So that's very cute. And I'm winning. This is the only one where he escapes mate. But after this, the end game is won. It's just lost.
Oh,
I mean, just look at my pieces. Look at
sure,
his
right.
pieces.
There's no way the bishop moves without the
In
pawn.
fact, I'll be a pawn up in one move, and then it's just over.
Got it.
So he did one final thing, which is he went here.
Is the king on H2?
Sorry, the king is on H1. Excuse me. So he went here, now trying to defend the pawn like this, because now I cannot do the double check thing because my queen is not pointing at this pawn like before. But now I just cut the communication between the queen and the thing.
And if bishop takes, then
I take on H3 using that pin and I give mate.
Yeah.
And there is nothing you can do.
And he resigns here.
He resigns here.
Wow.
So...
and so you were one piece over. No, you were exchanged down. Technically, if you look at this position, piecewise, you are behind.
Yes, I've been behind all game.
Right.
But these other factors are more important. That my bishop's participating in the game, which was always the aim. The rook didn't get to participate, but when I played c5, it was coming into the game in many lines. So it was a hidden, implied thing. And it turned out his whole plan to go here didn't work out.
Interesting.
Though there were some off ramps for him which he missed. They would only let equality. He wouldn't have won the game.
Got it. Very interesting. The way, I've seen some versions of analyses, but for a lot of people, when you move up and down positions very casually, you remember 8 moves ago where you were. I think it's a very impressive feat. But this game, generally speaking, and I've seen this game before, the way you throw wind to caution and just put all your pieces up on E5 and C5, take my pieces, take my pawns. I just want development. I want my bishops to be active. It's a very interesting game to look at. I think this is known as your Immortal, famously.
Yes. And to some degree, it's when a chess player sometimes says, I believed in myself and I played what I believed. This is what they mean, a position where you don't know all the, you don't know every secret, but you know it's good for you and you know that you have to play it because you've done the work there. You came to the right conclusion. And then if you don't act on your beliefs, then it's... just like not acting on your beliefs in some other walk of life.
Right.
You have to be consistent. And so this is sometimes what they say. And people, if you're far from the game, you may think, well, what is there with chess belief? You make the best move. But what is the best move? What is appropriate for each situation? That's kind of what we bring in.